Hello guys, my name is Mr. School Games and welcome back to another Windows Server tutorial. So if there's the slightest sound of background noise from a fan, although I would like to note I live in Australia and it is quite hot right now, so sadly you're going to have to deal with it. I've also moved my keyboard away from the microphone a bit so it doesn't sound very loud when I'm typing, but I will try my best. Okay, so let's log into the good old virtual machine I've set up, which I'll soon actually be making a video of me turning this into an actual machine, so stay tuned for that video. Now, you want to start off by going to good old Server Manager. I'm currently using Windows Server 2008, although this shouldn't have changed at all since then, so there we go. And I'll just put that there in future videos actually, so you can tell I should do that. This actually has 128 megs of video RAM, so it should be good. You want to maximize it, and we'll go to roles, click on that, you want to add a role. In today's video, very aptly, Windows Server has automatically selected something that we're going to do. We are going to be installing, we're going to be installing Active Directory Domain Services. What this does is it stores information about objects on the network and makes this information available to users and network administrators. ADDS, which I'll be referring to it from here on in, which means A for active, D for directory, another D for domain, and S for services. AD uses domain controllers to give network users access to permitted resources anywhere on the network through a simple single logon process. So after you tick Active Directory Domain Services, we want to click Next. It will require a couple of things to ensure that users can still log into the network in case of a server outage. Install at least a minimum of 2 DCs. You don't have to, but if you have a fairly stable server, you don't have to worry about this. ADDS requires a domain server to be installed on the network. If you don't have it installed, you'll be prompted to install a domain server role on this server. We will be doing that. After you've installed the ADDS role, use the Active Directory Domain Services Installation Wizard, also known as DC Promo, to make the server a fully functional domain controller. Installing ADDS will also install DFS namespaces, DFS replication, and file replication services, which are required by directory service. And click Next. The server will be restarted at least 2 times during the installation process, and after you install the role, make sure to run it. Okay, right. Don't even worry about that yet. Okay, you want to click Install, and it should be fairly quick in doing this, hopefully. And there we go. Windows Automatic Update is not enabled on this server. This only reason is because this is a VM, that's why I'm not updating it, because I don't really need to. So close this wizard and launch DC Promo. Well, I want to do that. Terminal service installation, yes. They'll knock out terminal services, but because I'm only going to deploy one VM right now, I wouldn't normally install terminal services and a Active Directory Domain Service on the same machine. We shouldn't enable advanced mode installation because I don't think we'll need to. We'll go Next. More secure default for security naming from weak. Okay. So unless you have an old NAS or client, then this will impact you. For more information, go to the knowledge base article 942564 rather. Next. I want to create new domain and new forest. Please type the fully qualified domain name or FQDN of the new forest root domain. Well, for me, I'm going to make this HSG Media Group.tk. Okay, forest function level. I'll be installing as Windows Server 2008 because I don't need Windows Server 2003 compatibility. Examining DNS configuration, I want to install a DNS server global catalog. Next. No, I'll send all. No, that is right, because I actually do have static addresses. Well, it doesn't look like that, they actually do, because it never loses that IP. So, actually, you might want to do that and make sure that the DNS server always has the same IP, but on this particular network, I've got it set up in a way that it won't lose the dynamic one. Do you want to continue? Yes. Okay, database folder, log files. I actually created a disk just for it. I'll do this one more time. Logs. Sysvol should complain. Here's a password. Okay, now this password you want very strong, but because this is a VM, I can do whatever I want, so I'm going to type in the password I use for everything else. Not export settings. I recommend you probably do this, even though it's not really too required, but still, you should. Install. Right, next, waiting for DNS to complete, post it, so there won't be any issue there. And as you can see, VirtualBox is restarting, and Windows Server almost in, and oh, almost there now. Up there. Up. This will take a tiny bit. Okay, we are back. So, log into HSG Media Group. So I'll use my administrator account. By the way, when you set up Windows Server, you shouldn't have this account enabled by default. Please don't have it enabled by default. You don't need it enabled. Make another user that has the same sort of permissions, because doing thing is highly a security flaw of your server. But as I said, because it's a VM that's only accessible from inside my network, I don't care too much about it.